gonna make a very quick and simple no-knead bread. So what I have here, I have 360 grams of all-purpose flour and 40 grams of whole wheat. So it's a total of 400 grams of flour. I have 1 teaspoon of salt, which I'm gonna just sprinkle all over. And then I'm gonna just mix a little bit with the whisk. This is 1/4 of a teaspoon of instant yeast. Goes right there. And now I'm gonna add 1.5 cups of warm water. And it's just warm, you know, not too hot. Okay. This is gonna form a pretty shaggy mass, and since it's gonna be the simplest bread you can ever make, we're not gonna do much with it. We're just gonna make sure everything is well incorporated. You could use your hands if you prefer. I'm trying to make it as neat and simple as possible. And just making sure that all the flour is in contact with the water. And as you see, it's a pretty shaggy mass. Hard to believe this is gonna be a bread, but it will. I hope you cannot hear my husband. He's having a little conversation with the dog, because from what I can tell, he just found the dog sitting on his favorite armchair, so that's a problem. Okay. This seems pretty good. It's kind of shaggy, and it looks like it could never be a good bread. But we're just gonna leave it here, cover with the saran wrap, and wait 3 hours at room temperature. I'll be back. Okay, it's been actually 1 hour, and I decided to do something because it's really very, very slack. So what I want you to do, you see it's very, very loose. So after 1 hour, we have 2 more to go. I want you to come with your hands and just go like this. Just fold the dough in itself all the way around it. You see how it already generates a little bit more body? So that's what I want you to do. That's it. And we're gonna repeat this after 1 more hour. So it's still a no-knead bread, but I just wanna give it a little more body because it seems very, very hydrated, which is gonna be good in the end. Okay, 1 more hour passed. Let's see what this looks like. Still pretty slack. So once again, let's just do this. Fold the dough all over itself. It's all bubbly. It smells very yeasty. And probably it's so slack because I decided to add some whole wheat flour, and that has a different ability to absorb the water. So that's why it's so slack. If you do this with 400 grams of all white flour, it's probably gonna be a little better to handle. But I like the taste that the whole wheat gives. So you see how it's already a lot more body just by moving it around a little bit. So, you know, just try to form it as a more round shape, still very loose. One more hour. Okay, so it's been 3 hours now, and I have here a little Benetton that I very heavily floured. I like to use brown rice flour because it's better, but if you don't have it, just use regular flour, but make sure you have a lot there. Now we're gonna have a pretty well floured surface. Put more flour than you think you need. And we're gonna essentially get this dough out. Okay, now a little more flour on top. You see how loose it is? It's all bubbly though. Now we're gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Just make a ball with it as best as you can. Now you hold it like this and plop it down. And just, you know, pinch it like this. Let's put a little more flour on top. Now this, I like to put it in the fridge now for, let's say, 30 minutes. During this time, the oven is gonna be heating up. So I'll come back and show you the final phase, which is baking this baby. Okay, so we're in the final phase and I wanna show you how I like to do this. I use this kind of a roaster, which is pretty cheap. It's normally used for camping. That works great. Because this dough is very, very loose, I am going to enclose it with a little pie plate. That's not necessary, but I find that it helps for the bread to keep its shape and not flatten too much. If you have a pie plate that fits nicely inside, you can do that. And then we need a parchment paper. Now you see that I'm using everything at room temperature. There's absolutely no need to put this in the hot oven. The oven is at 450 Fahrenheit. So there's no need to put this there. The bread's gonna be good if you bake it in a cold Dutch oven. So let me go get it. And now what you need is to work quickly and don't think too much. If you think too much, it's not gonna work. So you put the parchment paper on top, get a flat baking sheet so you can flip this out. 1, 2, 3, done. Get this baby out. There's a little flour. You just rub it like this. And now we're gonna put this here. You can rub the flour a little bit more. If you think there's really too much flour, it's gonna make it very unpleasant to eat later. Just go like this. This is a very slack dough, so there's no way to do any kind of artistic slashes. Just forget about it. What you do now, you cover and you put it into the 450 oven. That's it. We're gonna set the timer for 30 minutes, and after 30 minutes I'm gonna open and bake 10 to 15 minutes more without the lid. I'll see you then. Okay, so it's the end of the baking time. I baked for 30 minutes with the Dutch oven closed. Then I removed the lid and I actually took the bread out and put it back in the oven, just on the rack. So there you go, you have a little no-knead bread. It took what, maybe 4 hours from start to finish, and you see that it opened wherever it wanted. So in this case it went from the sides, and there was a lot of flour on top, so I could have brushed more flour off, but this is it, and it sounds hollow. Let's just check one thing quickly. I know it's good because I'm very used to my oven. It's crusty. There you go, 208 degrees. That's pretty good. So anywhere from 200 to 212, it's nice, even a little more. So now this baby's gonna cool, and later I'm gonna cut it and see what the crumb looks like. But it's amazing, it's already singing.